gaming has never been more accessible, even if you are on a tight budget in 2025. While the latest consoles might grab the headlines and they are like everywhere, there are plenty of incredible options that won't leave your wallet empty. If you're a fan of retro classics, modern gaming, or maybe just looking for the best value, there's probably something out there for you. From the PS4, Xbox One, and even older gems like PS3 and Xbox 360, today's gaming landscape offers amazing experience at a fraction of the cost. Grab a cup of coffee or tea and let's decide together, or let's look what kind of console would be a great choice for you. First up, the PS4 and its variations. There are a few, we all already know them. The standard PS4, the PS4 Slim, and the Pro version. We discussed that lately. Yeah, the most powerful, the PlayStation 4 Pro, offering 4K gaming and better performance in supported games. It's actually a good option for people who are looking for some better experience, I would say. But the PS4, the standard one, and also the Slim, they aren't bad nowadays. As of 2025, you can find a used PS4 Slim or the standard one for around like 150 euros or dollars. It depends always. I saw last time on my local marketplace here in Germany a used PS4 Fat with 2 controllers without any games. I believe it was 500 gigs for 50 euro. Yeah, you can find actually PS3 for 50 euro, but the PS4, that was actually a crazy deal. And yeah, it worked. I've actually contacted the seller and asked like, does this work? Like, is there any ban on that or something like that? And he was like, no, there is no ban. Yeah, it does work. It's loud as heck, but it does work. So yeah, the typical jet engine issue, but after cleaning and repasting should run better. So 50 euro, it's like a steal. Yeah, and it was gone at the same day after like couple of hours. The Pro version goes for around 150 up to 200 euro or dollars even more, but it always depends on the condition. Like every device, it depends always on the condition. So just try to look for the best one, but in every case it doesn't matter which console will you buy, you will always have to clean it, probably from the outside and from the inside. If it sounds, in case of the PS4, if it sounds like a jet engine, then you will have to clean it from the inside pretty much, and also repaste the thermal compound and also change the thermal pads probably. So have in mind that you will need to put some extra work into it to have like a great console. And also the controller, like sometimes it isn't in the best condition, so you will have to clean it, hopefully only from the outside, but most of the times, as I got some PS4 controllers and I did open them, hairs and then some sticky residue from I don't know what, and yeah, inside they didn't look that pleasant, so yeah, I had to clean it also. And yeah, every plastic part got a nice bath, so this is something you would probably need to do. The PS4 library is massive, featuring exclusive like The Last of Us Part 2, God of War, and Bloodborne. Yeah, that's actually crazy that you can play such great games on a console that is this old actually. However, keep in mind that its performance is limited compared to newer consoles, especially in demanding games. So you won't have the option for like quality and 60 FPS. You will always have to choose between performance and quality. But on 4K, it looks actually incredible. It's a solid choice for someone who wants access to modern games at a low cost. And there's also the PS VR. Yeah, I know it's the first version, but if you would like to see like what it does offer, if it's something cool, then you can try that. It's cheaper than the PS VR 2, and okay, I know it doesn't offer the same features and so on, but still, it's maybe something worth considering. The next one, yeah, Xbox One. Yeah, with the standard one, you won't get the same performance as with the PS4, but you can still play on it. It has also a few variations: the standard Xbox One, the Xbox One S, and there's the Xbox One S normal version, disc version, and also the digital version. Yeah, that was the first try of Microsoft with the only digital Xbox, and the Xbox One X. The Xbox One X is the most powerful one. It gives you really, really great performance in today's multiplayer games, and you don't have to pay the price of a PS5 or Xbox One X. Yeah, because the prices are like similar to the PS4, very similar, and in some cases the Xbox costs even less. The question is why? Yeah, because it's an Xbox. People back then at least got the hype around PS4, PlayStation overall, and the Xbox One was kinda a flop. Yeah, it didn't have the same performance as the PS4, the base versions, but with the Xbox One X, Microsoft showed actually that they can still do something good. So the Xbox One X on the paper is much better than the PS4 Pro. The standard Xbox One is also still a great choice. Wouldn't recommend it for a 4K TV or a monitor, rather 1080p, but you can still play the current titles on it, like the current multiplayer title Fortnite. You can play it at 60 FPS. So if you want to enjoy some Fortnite sessions at your desk, like on the evening, Xbox One is like great choice, I would say, because you don't pay that much for it and you can enjoy Fortnite without any problem. And the digital only Xbox One S, probably I wouldn't consider it. I mean, if you don't have any physical games, then maybe, yeah, with the Game Pass Ultimate, yeah, it is an option. But, and while we are at the Game Pass, it is actually one of the strengths of the Xbox. For a monthly subscription, you get access to a huge library of games, including exclusives like Halo 5, Gears of War, and the backwards compatibility with Xbox 360 titles is also great actually. So if you get a console with disk drive, then you can also enjoy your Xbox 360 titles if you have any, of course. But as far as I know, there is a list which titles are really backwards compatible and to which are not. So you can enjoy many of them, but not all. That's why you have an option for the Xbox 360 or the PS3. For retro gamers, of course, yeah, I am not sure if it is already a retro thing. If you know if it is, or if you have the feeling, are we that old actually? Let me know in the comment if the PS3 and the Xbox 360 are actually retro or not. But they are both fantastic options. As for today, you can find these consoles for as low as like 30, 50 euro and dollars probably also. You will have something here around, and it does depend on the condition, like in every case, but paying only this much and to have the access to like the library of games, it's like incredible. You will always have to make sure that there is no red ring of death or like the yellow light of death, so always check the device Don't meet up at, like, I don't know, gas station. Okay, if you get any videos, like some proof that the console is working, then yeah, it is okay. But I would rather test the device, like check the controller and so on, because I can remember getting back in the 2016, back in the 2016, I got the PS3, and I paid like €80 at that time, and both of the controllers, they had stick drift, both of them. I had to take them apart, clean it, and gratefully it did fix the problem, but still I didn't test it. So yeah, that was a bummer. Actually, I was actually mad right at the beginning. Like, I plugged it in at home and like, what? It doesn't work. So yeah, the PlayStation 3 shines with exclusives like Uncharted, The Last of Us, and Demon's Souls. Having something like that back then, it was like crazy. And right now, even you get a PS3 and then exclusives like this here and like cool versions. This is something what you should maybe think about, because like this looks really cool on the shelf, doesn't it? On the other hand, the Xbox 360 has also something to offer. You have titles like Halo 3, Gears of War, and Fable. Yeah, Fable. I can remember playing this on my PC. That was something. And right now you can get it for cheap and then play it on the Xbox. Like, you can get it for nothing. Okay, in some cases, I know, as far as I am aware, Fable might be a little bit expensive because it is truly an exclusive and it's a great game. So probably you will have to look around, or maybe you will find this thrift store, or maybe like at someone's backyard sale. So look around. While the performance is dated, these consoles are still excellent for exploring classic titles and HD gaming, and gaming for like €50 or less. Like, you won't be able to buy a PC for €50 and then play Gears of War. Like, this is actually crazy. Or is it only for me that's crazy? Because I would rather pay only like €50 and then get Gears of War, maybe even bundled with the console together. Clean the console, okay, I would need to spend some time, but clean the console and then just enjoy the game. Like, this can't be better. And back then it was actually, if you think about that, the same situation, but with older consoles. Like the PS3 with the X360, they were around, and then people were considering getting the PS2 and the first Xbox. It was the same situation actually, but right now these are much cheaper. So yeah, the Switch lineup. The Switch V1, V2, and the Lite. The V2, I'm not sure if we can consider it a budget console, but the V1, probably yeah, because it's actually pretty old with wacky battery, and you will need to replace it probably. But the Switch Lite is actually on the used market pretty cheap, and we already discussed that. So this is perfect for portable gaming fans. The Lite is the most affordable, I would say, typically priced at around €150. You can find it for even less, and like in dollars the price would be similar, but there is no dock option. That's why maybe consider the V1 if you want to dock the console and play on the TV or monitor, or maybe the V2 if the budget allows and the price on the used market is okay. But if you would get the V1, probably you would need to replace the battery if you would like to play handheld mode without charging it the whole time, and also probably the thermal compound, because after all those years it will be dry and probably nothing there if you open it up. So yeah, have that in mind. But Nintendo's game library is unmatched with titles like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Animal Crossing New Horizons, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. This can't get any better actually. Or? Yeah, there are also Pokemon titles. Yeah, Pokemon Legends, Arceus. It's like, for me at least, it is a blast. I know it's not for everyone, but for me, a different format and something completely different than the normal Pokemon games. I have to say, I spent on it like 44 hours up until now, and I didn't finish the story yet. So, And probably one of the pros is probably that the Switch is still supported even in 2025. The Sony and Microsoft companies are still somehow supporting the older gens, but I hope that Nintendo won't drop the gem, because you can actually tell that the whole Switch lineup is a gem for Nintendo, and that they won't drop the support on it after, like, I don't know, a couple of weeks, months, or a year after releasing the successor, because this would be a bummer actually for every Nintendo Switch gamer. Like, we want this thing. Wait a minute, there's a community for that. They will keep it up to date. But Nintendo has also some other handhelds. Yeah, 3DS and DS Lite. Budget gaming in 2025? I mean, if you are into handhelds, then why not? Because if portability and low price are your priorities, then the DS Lite, this is really, like, I think the cheapest handheld as for now. The 3DS has an amazing library of games, like including Pokemon X and Y, Animal Crossing New Leaf, and Zelda, A Link Between Worlds. And the price is like under €100 or like dollars. You will have something here on the display, but it isn't that pricey, and you get the access to a great library. The DS Lite, while older, still has classics like Mario Kart DS and New Super Mario Bros. Like, you can spend hours and hours on it. This console can be found for as low as like €30. Yeah, I saw some listing on my local marketplace, and the prices are actually crazy. You would need to check the console really good, because we all know that the hinges weren't the best part of the whole body, so make sure it does work properly. And the stylus. Yeah, this one goes missing pretty often, so check for that. Yeah, Wii U. Wii U. Nintendo's biggest flop. I mean, back then, actually, yeah, it was actually a flop, and people still consider calling it a flop. But the question is, in 2025, is the console still a flop actually? Like, the things that you can do with it, I wouldn't call it a flop, as for now at least. And the price, I mean, you are paying less than €100 or dollars, probably a little bit more, and you get access to such a powerful device. Powerful, I don't mean like the inside of it, because the 3-core processor and like 500 megahertz AMD GPU, yeah, it isn't that powerful, but the games are really, really great, and they're running smooth on it. Priced at like €150, as I already said. It offers access to both Wii and Wii U titles, like including Super Mario 3D World, The Legend of Zelda, Wind Waker HD, and you can even play Breath of the Wild on it. Yeah, because I think, as far as I remember, the production of the game Breath of the Wild started actually on Wii U and then ended up on the Switch, but they still released it on Wii U, and yeah, something like that. But still, you can play Breath of the Wild on the Wii U. The community is growing every day, so you can find some tips, I would say, on what to do with the Wii U nowadays, because you can There are crazy things you can do with it and enjoy every minute spent with this console. Like, you will have so much joy with it and so much playtime that you wouldn't even think about like 4K or 120 FPS if you have access to this library. So yeah, it is also a great way to experience some classic Nintendo games without paying the Switch prices. Yeah, because we know that the games for the Nintendo Switch are pretty expensive. The community has something for that, we all know. But if you are one of those who buys the physical copies, then yeah, it does hurt the wallet, doesn't it? I didn't mention all the consoles that we have currently because I would need to talk about the PS2, PS1, the original Xbox, the GameCube, the Wii, and there are so many, like for the retro fans even more. So let's just come to the conclusion, because I think this video would take, I don't know, 1 hour, 2 hours, or even more. But as we all know, it always depends on the budget and the needs. If you want some modern gaming on a budget, you could go with the PS4, Xbox One, and you wouldn't pay that much for it and enjoy every minute. So if you are also into Fortnite, War Thunder, and like titles like that, the online multiplayer games, then consider those. If you are more of a gaming on the go person, then I would go with the Switch Lite or like 3DS or maybe even the DS Lite. I mean, if the budget isn't that great but you want still start to enjoy some games, or maybe you aren't even a gamer and you just want to try, then the DS Lite could be actually an entry point. And then maybe try the 3DS, later the Switch. I mean, if you buy the console for like, I don't know, 30 euro and you don't enjoy it, then you resell it, probably even at the same price. And as a retro gamer, then PS3 and X360, they're also a nice choice. And the library is like, is really crazy. There are like, I don't know, years to come to finish all of those titles. So you would be actually satisfied for a long period of time playing all those games. But if you kinda love the Nintendo's magic, then the Wii U could be also for you. I mean, with the access to all those games for almost nothing, this is actually a crazy deal. And I see on Reddit many posts in the Wii U community that many people are getting it and they are trying to get the best out of the console and they enjoy it. The only bad thing about the Wii U was probably the marketing. I think, at least in my opinion, it was ahead of its time, and this could be much better than what we got back then. And I think right now is actually a good time to explore it a little bit more and then see also what it does offer. So that was my opinion and my point of view on which console to choose if you are on a budget in 2025. But let me know in the comments which console you are leaning towards, and maybe which one do you own, or maybe which one would you recommend for a budget gamer in 2025. But as for now, thank you for watching. Bye.